I want to welcome you on behalf of the Greens, the IWW, the Chicago Labor Against the War, Labor Express, the New World Resource Center, Chicago Committee Against War and Racism and Indie Media. Enjoy the show. Have a great time. Here's Ann Feeney.
My feet are tired, but my soul is rested. My feet are tired. My feet are tired. My feet are tired, but my soul is rested. 1955, that's a lifetime ago. Remember I Like Ike, remember Jim Crow. Montgomery, Alabama, sleepy southern town. That woman started something when she sat down. My feet are tired. My feet are tired. Oh, my feet are tired, but my soul is rested. People walk to work in the morning light. Thousands walking home from their jobs at night. The days turn to weeks, the weeks turn to months. It was more than a year before it was one. My feet are tired. My feet are tired. My feet are tired, but my soul is rested. Working back then, you would hear people say, I only want my kids to see a better day. I've thought it over and I've changed my mind. I want to see freedom in my time. My feet are tired. My feet are tired. Oh, my feet are tired, but my soul is rested. My feet are tired. My feet are tired. Oh, my feet are tired, but my soul is rested. Why, thank you. It's a song from my friend John Fromer and Bernard Gilbert. So, how many people came to sing a little tonight, I hope? Good, good. This is a song I wrote for a play. It's called Buried, and it's the story of the Sago mine disaster. My friend Jerry Starr tried to document the transformation of the miners' wives in the aftermath of Sago, their transformation from widows into warriors, and he does it very well. But in actual fact, when these women heard that their husbands were dead, they burst into a spontaneous chorus of How Great Thou Art. And I thought to myself, I would want a different song to sing if I found out the company had killed my husband, and so I wrote it. Last night as I lay tossing and a-turning in my bed, I dreamed that I was in the presence of the Lord, with a dozen Sago miners who had gone to their reward. God looked down on those miners and he said, Who has sent my faithful servants here unbidden to my throne? He will answer on that judgment day. Who has left their grieving families heartbroken and alone? He will answer on that judgment day. Oh, he will answer on that judgment day. He will answer on that judgment day. Oh, he will answer on that judgment day. He will answer on that judgment day. Now, if this brings back too many painful vacation Bible school memories for you, you don't have to sing along, but you can see what a good time Dan's having here. It won't hurt you any. I have fashioned those who labor in my image, God did say. I did not call these miners home to me. Many years I had allotted them with friends and family. Now the heavens weep to hear their orphans pray. Oh, you cannot serve God and mammon. If it's mammon that you choose, you will answer on that judgment day. Now what good is all your wealth if your eternal soul you lose? You will answer on that judgment day. Yes, you will answer On that judgment day you will answer. On that judgment day. Oh, you will answer. On that judgment day you will answer. On that judgment day. It is easier to get a camel through a needle's eye than a rich man into heaven, it's been told. Every time a human life's cut short by avarice for gold, there will be a day of judgment by and by. Now if you've garnered earthly riches and you come to heaven's door, you will answer on that judgment day. To serve God you must renounce your wealth and share it with the poor, or you will answer on that judgment day. Oh, you will answer on that judgment day. You will answer on that judgment day. Yes, you will answer on that judgment day. You will answer on that judgment day. Last chance, you will answer on that judgment day. You will answer on that judgment day. Oh, you will answer on that judgment day. You will answer on that judgment day. To serve God you must renounce your wealth and share it with the poor, or you will answer on that judgment day. Why, thank you. Almost 100 years ago, and I guess if it's going to make any sense to you, I should give you a little bit of historical background. It's hard to believe, but 100 years ago in this country, there were these, I don't know how to describe them, I guess sort of conservative, fundamentalist religious groups that exerted an inordinate amount of influence over American political life. Really. And their basic philosophy was that God had pretty much handed out the wealth the way he wanted it. And if you were very rich, it was because God loved you. And if you were very poor, then your job in this world was to work like hell, work 84 hours a week for your boss, and collect your reward in heaven. And Joe Hill said, "They're trying to sell you pie in the sky, fellow workers." And he was the fellow who introduced that phrase into our lexicon in this various song, known to many of you, I'm sure. But the chorus goes, "You will eat by and by, in that glorious land above the sky." It's actually way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. That's a lie. Oh man, I usually have to tell people to say that loud. I love this room. Those TV preachers come on every night. They want to tell you what's wrong and what's right. If you ask how about something to eat, they will answer in voices so sweet. You will eat by and by, in that glorious land above the sky. Way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. Oh, the Starvation Army, they play, and they sing and they clap and they pray, till they've got all your coin on the drum. Then they'll tell you when you're on the bum. You will eat by and by, in that glorious land above the sky. Way up high, work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. So you want a few of the good things in this life. They're going to tell you knock it off with all that strife. Just be a stooge for the bosses, they tell. Why, if not, you will all go to hell. And you will eat by and by, in that glorious land above the sky. Work and pray, live on hay. You'll get pie in the sky when you die. All right, we're gonna give it a happy ending. It's a folk song, we can do that. And a slightly different final chorus. Working folk of all countries unite. Side by side we for freedom will fight. When this world and its wealth we have gained, To those grafters, we'll sing this slightly modified refrain. You will eat by and by, once you've learned how to cook or how to fry. Okay, there's a lot of dissension about what the correct answer is after cook and fry. Your options are, the Little Red Songbook says in a pan, or you could say bake a pie, or you could say once you've learned how to cook and how to fry, or dumpster dive. All right, so we'll just try that. Working folk of all countries unite. Side by side we for freedom will fight. When this world and its wealth we have gained, to those grafters we'll sing this slightly modified refrain. You will eat by and by, once you've learned how to cook and how to fry. Chop size of clear winner there. Chop some wood, it'll do you good, real good. And you'll eat in that sweet by and by, and that's a lie. Well, the dumpster dive line came to me courtesy of a wonderful young anarchist who performs with the Riot Folk Collective. His name is Evan Greer. And he was 19 years old when he wrote the song that I'm going to try to struggle through here. It's on my new CD and I love it. But when I was much younger, I could get these 76-verse songs and just put them in 8-point type on the floor and glance down at them and learn them. And now I would need like a 64-point type teleprompter going by me. So it takes a while longer. Be patient with me if I mess this up. The only way I'm going to learn it is if I humiliate myself a few times. But it's many, many words. But I'm partial to the songs with many, many words. So I don't have to tell anyone in Chicago what ya basta means. Ya basta. Enough is enough. Ya basta. Enough is enough. You ask why are we angry? I say look at history. The cause of all our troubles, it is not a mystery. There are those whose lives are easy, there are those whose lives are rough. Now is the time for us to rise and cry out, enough is enough! Enough borders, enough nations, enough corporate exploitation, enough racist pollution, enough racist institutions, enough chains, enough cages, enough starvation wages, enough highways and gas stations, controlled by corporations. We won't take it anymore. Yeah, this is class war. We will fight you in the streets and we will dance at your defeat. Ya basta. Ya basta. Yes, there will come a day when the melting pot will boil, and you only bring us closer with each war you make for oil, each union that you break, and each ballot box you stuff. Bring us closer to the day when we cry out, enough is enough! Enough greedy politicians, enough gender role traditions, enough hierarchies, enough of living on our knees. Enough gouging of the planet, enough destruction of the earth, enough tearing of our flesh to see what the insides might be worth. Oh, we won't take it anymore. Yeah, this is class war. We'll fight you in the streets and we will dance at your defeat. Ya basta. Ya basta. Now all around the world, the people are fighting back. Each day another shard of the system starts to crack. In Argentina and Chiapas, with our rage and with our love. Yeah, this is class war. We'll fight you in the streets and we will dance at your defeat. Ya basta. Ya basta. Enough words have been said, enough songs have been sung, enough protests have been had, enough banners have been hung. We are many, they are few, there is so much we can do when we use what we have learned and fight them in our own terms, because they need us. We don't need them. It is our sweat and labor on which they all depend. They need us to drive their trucks. They need us to shine their crowns. They need us to be the cops who beat our comrades down. But what good are all those laws with no one to institute them? What good are all those guns if there's no one left to shoot them? We won't take it anymore. Yeah, this is class war. We'll fight you in the streets and we will dance at your defeat. Ya basta. Ya basta. Ya basta. Ya basta. This is a true story. In 1991, I was invited to sing at Solidarity Day. And I was so thrilled and so honored that I put together a band. And it was like an 8-piece band, and we weren't really getting paid for this, but we had a million rehearsals, and the themes of the weekend were stopping scabs and getting national health care. And I had great songs on both issues, even though I was kind of reluctant to write them because I figured as soon as Clinton was elected, we would have that anti-scab legislation and national health care. But anyway, we got to there was a huge stage set up in front of the Washington Monument, and we had to be there at 7 a.m. for the sound check. So there we are with the drums and everything, the piano, we're all set up, and I had a chorus. I had singers. So it was awesome. So we had this fabulous band. We do our sound check at 7 a.m. We sound fantastic, and there's no one on the mall at that point. But by 8 o'clock, there were about 50 people, and by 8:30 there are 200, and by 9 o'clock there are 2,000, and by 9:30 there are 20,000, and by noon there were 500,000 people there. It was very, very exciting, and a bunch of people played the Ladies' Garment. Women chorus got up and sang "Look for the Union Label," and everybody and his brother was up there on the stage singing, and at noon they stepped off for the Capitol. So at 12:30 there were 150,000 people there, and at 1 o'clock there were 100,000, and at 1:30 there were 50,000, and at 2 o'clock there were 200, and at 2:30 there were 11, and they said, "Hit it, Ann!" And it kind of looked like one of those post-nuclear scenarios. You could watch little bits of garbage drifting, blowing across the empty mall. And really, I mean, there were 7 people there, and 2 of them were my children. So I said to the band, "Okay, let's pretend they can hear us." So we really knocked it out. We did, we played it as if we had the whole 500,000 people up there. And when we were finished, we went home, and I just sobbed all the way home. And about 3 weeks later, we get this video cassette in the mail. And I pop it in, and this is right at the dawn of MTV. They were just starting the music videos. So here's this, the Chiron starts, "Songs of Solidarity," and you can see the stagehands, the mighty stagehands building the scaffolding for the huge stage. And then they cut back, and there's this huge view of the mall with the 500,000 people, and the voice is, "When the Union's inspiration." There I am, it's me. And the kids look, and they've edited this whole thing so that there are 500,000 people jumping up and down and singing along with me. And the best part about it was, I couldn't figure out why this horrible thing had happened to me, why I was so disillusioned and depressed. And my kids are watching it, and they say, "Mommy, that's not what happened at all." I was like, the whole purpose of that vision for me was so that my children would learn that television lies. And they never believed anything they saw on television after that. It wasn't too... My kids got so serious. I can remember my son, he was like 5 years old, pulling somebody over in Chuck E. Cheese, some little kid, and saying, "Do you think the people who made that machine want children to have toys? No, they want to take the quarters off children."
Good job, man. Good job.
My son was 3 years old, I think. Yeah. When my neighbor up the street called me and said, "Come up here and get Daniel. Get him right now." I said, "Oh God, what's he done?" I mean, he was a very active child. There were many nights when I was tucking him in, I wondered if Charles Manson's mother thought he was just high-strung. It's just, "Come up here and get Daniel right now." I said, "What did he do?" And she said, "He's riding his big wheels bike around our house, and he's chanting, 'No business, no business, no business with South Africa.'" She said, "We won't have your kids coming up here and inflicting your politics on our children," she says. "This child will have no friends. He will be terribly unpopular, and when he grows up, he will become a stockbroker just to piss you off." That was pretty scary, I'll admit, but I knew it would never happen. I would have drowned him first. But I knew that he and his sister were picking up a lot of skills, and it wouldn't have surprised me one bit if right now they were convening chapters all over North America of adult children of politically correct parents. An outfit which I thought deserved a theme song. "Mom and Dad, I'm almost 10. It's time we had this talk. I've done my best to please you since before I learned to walk. I swallowed all your oatmeal and your work for peace is fine. But when you pick on Super Mario, I've got to draw the line. I know you're not like other folks, but for once could we pretendo? Let me be like other kids, why can't I have Nintendo? They were always the first ones to any event like this because I'd be setting up the PA and the last ones out because I'd be breaking it down. So they acquired some very interesting skill sets. I'd always promised them there'd be lots of kids at the event, and of course there never were. But one night as I'm setting up the PA, everybody's there tabling, they got all their information out, and I watch my kids carefully going up and down the tables, collating sets of information and handing completely collated sets to people as they walk in the door. You think this was lost on me? I put them to work. I think my son was maybe 10 and my daughter 8, and they came home from school one day to a 10,000-piece mailing sitting on the table. It was like 6 pages to be collated, folded into thirds, stuffed into envelopes, sealed, labeled, sorted by zip code, bundled, rubber banded. My daughter looks at me and says, "Mom, we talked to our friends. None of them play bulk mail." It was a fun game while it lasted. Every other kid I know spends his idle hours helping Super Mario climb pillars, hills, and towers. Now how come when we go for walks, it's on some picket line? It's my turn to protest, Mommy, read this picket sign. I know you're not like other folks, but for once could we pretendo? Let me be like other kids, why can't I have Nintendo? My kids were always asking me difficult questions like, how come we always put signs in our yard for people that lose, Mommy? Sometimes I worry what would happen in a war. It's not that I don't like the things you're working for. So don't get angry if I ask you just once more. Please, 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 please. So many stories, so little time. Well, let's see, I think it was about 1990 when my daughter was going to be 9 and my son was going to be 11. I was driving down to the Kerrville Folk Festival with them from Pittsburgh. It's a 1,200-mile drive with 2 kids in the car. I was so looking forward to the opportunity to impart all my maternal wisdom to them on this trip that I completely neglected the gas tank and ran out of gas. And so we're drifting over to the side of the road, and like any good mommy, I had lots of art supplies in the car, and the kids had made a really cute looking out of gas sign before I could get the car parked. So there we were, mom, dad, mom and son and daughter by the side of the road. The first car that came by picked us up, drove us 16 miles to the nearest exit. He had a gas can, which was good because I didn't. He was going to bring us back to the car, and as he's pulling into the gas station from the back seat, my daughter says, "Oh no, please, we're boycotting Exxon. Would you mind going down the road to that other gas station?" And he did. I don't mind recycling and camping out, it's fine. If you'd only boycott cauliflower, I'd be first in line. G.I. Joe and laser tag were out, I always knew. So when I go down to Billy's house, what do you think we do? We turn on his TV set, and for hours upon endo, I act just like the other kids and I freak out on Nintendo. So can't I be like other kids? Oh, can't I have Nintendo? Not on your life. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. What force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. The union makes us strong. They have taken untold billions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel would turn. We'll break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn. The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity. the earth. For justice thunders condemnation, all better worlds in birth. No more traditions strange shall bind us, arise ye slaves, no more enthralled. The earth shall rise on new foundations, we have been not, we shall be all. 'Tis the final conflict, let each stand in place. The international working class shall free the human race. 'Tis the final conflict, let each stand in place. The international working class shall free the human race. In our hands is placed a power greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified 1,000-fold. We'll bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, and our union makes us strong. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever. It's the union makes us strong. Thank you, Heartland Cafe. What fun. Thank you, Earl, and thanks to all of the groups that put this together. Thank you. Woo! Go get 'em. I was a welder pulling down 40,000. For all I know, that job's in Burma now. I'm out working for the minimum wage. I'm wondering whatever happened to the 8-hour day. Oh, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Who feeds a family on one person's pay? I can't take much more, I've just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day? We've got no time for the house, no time for the kids. An 80-hour week sure puts your life on the skids. There's only one thing gonna take it away. Tell me, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Oh, whatever happened to the 8-hour day? Who feeds a family on one person's pay? I can't take much more, I've just got one thing to say. Whatever happened to the 8-hour day?